Hey guys, welcome to the AdFix. In this video, I am going to discuss about the forms in HTML. Well, we have discussed the forms in HTML, but these forms which are in HTML5 are quite exaggerated. They contain a lot of content and they are very big. These forms include many of the things which include the input, label, select, text area, button, field set, legend, output, data list and option and many more things. We will discuss about these forms starting from the input. When we are discussing about the input in HTML5, this include many of the types which are file, image, radio, range and tell. When you type input type equal to file and the user clicks that file, it will just pop up the file type and you can choose any of the file and you can just upload it. This is how the file type work. And when I am talking about a type equal to image, when user clicks that, he can only upload the image and only images are displayed in the file. You can either upload the videos or audios or any of the files like a zip, .pdf and many more. And when I am talking about the type equal to radio, when you make a input with a type radio, you can make a input which is clickable and markable just like options. When you ever visited the Google Forms, you can just click that input. It is possible with the radio. As well as we have the range. If you ever watched the draggable inputs, where you can just make anything draggable with the input, you can make it through range. When you type input type equal to range, you can make an input which is draggable. You can watch it in VS Code. At last we have tell. Tell make input where you can only upload the phone number or the mobile number. These are all about the input. Now we'll go with the label. Whenever you create any input, the input is created without any of the text. Means if a user visit your site, if it has only input, he will not getting to know what exactly it is talking about. Means it is just a blank space. Therefore we use a label. When you use a label and give a name, that name is displayed at that input and he can get to know about it, the what type of input is that and what I have to fill it at there. This is about the label. When I am using about the select and option, you can just create a drop down menu using this. Whenever you create a select with a child node option and you create it and user click that select, it will just display some of the options. Like if you have created cars and you are doing the options with Volvo and Bugatti and Tata and many more, and if the user just click that select, it will display those all options like Volvo, Bugatti and Tata. This is how the select works. And we have the text area. Whenever you create the input with the type equal to text, you can only add the text continuously without any line break. It will not allow any line break and it will neither make you to give a line break. It is just a single line. Whether you exaggerate, increase the width or increase the height, it will neither take any of those value. For that we have the text area. Whenever you create a text area with it is only created with rows and columns. When you create a text area, you can add the line breaks and the line is getting breaked after the rows or columns are completed. This is about the text area. And next we have the buttons. Buttons are created for the purpose of user interface. When I am creating the buttons and user clicks that, you can make events which will occur on that, like submit and many more. At last we have field set and legend. When I am creating any of the input, whenever you visit the Google Forms and just have a look at how the labels are present. Labels are present on the borders of that input, and it is possible with a field set and legend. We create a field set as a parent tag and legend as a child tag, and if we create that, the legend, whatever name you give in the legend, this is displayed on the borders of that field set. This is how we create these border labels. And at last we have the form autocomplete. When I use form autocomplete equal to on, if a user had already put some values in the before browser or in a previous type browser, it is just copied at there because we have added the autocomplete equal to on. If we make it off, then it will not allow anything, means you have to type it manually. At last we have the input required. When I type input type and required, and if user will not fill anything and just he clicks the submit, it will show them that you have to fill that thing. This is how the input required work, and we will watch everything in the VS Code. This is all about the forms. Going to discuss about the forms in HTML5. We have discussed the forms in HTML, but these forms become very much exaggerated and become a bigger in the HTML5, and it has added up many of the things, which includes the input and select, as well as the text area, button, field set, legend, output, data list, option, and many more things. First of all, we will discuss about the input. There are a lot of input which are added up in the HTML5. We will discuss one by one. First of all, it added up with type equal to file, where you can upload your file. Type equal to file, and I save it. I just open it in a web browser and I will reload it. It's actually not showing. Sorry, it is showing input, Control S, and I will reload the file. As you can watch here, it comes with choosing the file. When I click it, it become a pop-up and you can choose any of the file which you want. This is how the input file works. Now we will go with the next one. Next one includes the radio. When I type the radio, it become a tickable or a markable input. I just reload it. As you can watch, I can tick, I can remove it. This is how the radio input works. Next I will go with the further. In the further we have the range. When I am talking about input range, you can just make a movable input. Movable means draggable input, and you can change anything like this. You can change anything, and I am able to add the value also. I can add the value. I will add the value equal to 50, and I just reload it, and as you can watch, it become complete 50. This is how it works. Next we will go with the tel or the mobile number. When I am using the tel, you can also add the mobile number into the input because we have added the tel. Well, you can add it in a number format only, but also tel provides you good flexibility. It will just take up the values before you type it about your number and many things. When I am go with it, it actually not showing. I'll just use phone here. I will use the phone. I just I reload it, and as you can click, it will also not showing. Next I will use the number. I just click and I just reload it. When I reload it, the number become like this, and this is all about the input which are used in HTML5. Using the label. Well, labels are used along with the input to show that what input has. Means if I am using the label equal to name and I am next using the input equal to text, then it is showing that this input is this input wants your name. This is how the label works. I will just show you how the label works. We have to use the label, and I have to use the name, and next I will use the input type equal to text, and I will just complete it. I will save it, and I will just open it in a web browser. And as you can watch, because I have used the label, it is showing name equal to, and I can add my name here. And this is how the label works. Next we are going to discuss about select and options. When I am using the select and options, it is just like a drop menu. just have a look at here. I use the select, and I just use the option, and I use hello, and next I just copy the option, and I just Control C, and I just paste it, and I just save it, and I will open it in a web browser. As you can watch here, it is showing the drop down menu. When I click it, it is showing the drop down menu, because we have added a lot of the options to that select. This is how select and options work. Now we will discuss about the text area. Why to use text area? First of all, when we are using this text area, whenever you write any input, I just show you. Whenever I write any input, type equal to text, and I just complete it, and I will save it, and I will show you. I just reload the whole site. I'm writing something here, malicious. I just can't use the enter to just make a line break. We can't use. You have to just write down the things as it is, as long as the input has. But if I use the text area, this become changer. I just show you how it will be changer. I'm using the text area. And here I have to use A, and here I am using the text area. I'm using name equal to something, name equal to M, and next I will use the rows and columns. We have to represent it in a format of rows and columns, and it become in a rectangular format. I will use rows equal to, I have to use it in 10 rows, and columns equal to 30 columns, and I just save it, and I will open it in a web browser. As you can watch, I can enter any of the input as line is getting breaker. But in the ancient or in before what input we have used, it is not showing any line break. This is showing line break. This is how the text area is useful and works. And next we will going to discuss about the buttons. When I am using the buttons, it will make you feel like you are clicking the button. I use just button, and I will use the click. I just save it. I just open it in a web browser, and as you can watch, when I am clicking the button, it is showing light borders around it. When I click it, it's showing the light borders around it with a light gray color. This is how the buttons work. Next, I am using the field set and legend. If you ever saw the Google Forms, their legend name or the label name is represented on the borders. It is represented on the borders, not on just like we have saw in the label. It is represented on the borders. We will make such borders using the field set. You can just see it. I'm using the field set. Next, I'm using that legend. I'm using the legend. I just say name, and I save it. As you can watch in the web browser, it is showing that name on the web on the borders. This is how field set legend works. At last, I am going to show you how we can create the required field is not filled, that pop-up in the input. For that, we have to do as the things on. I am creating these all things. This is not required at all. Here I have created an input with the type email, and I'm just writing the required attribute, as well as I'm typing input type submit, and I will just reload the site. And if this site is not at filled, it is showing please fill out this field. If I type submit, means if I click the submit, it will show please fill out this field. This is how the required field works. This is all about the forms. Well, do subscribe our channel for regular updates. Thank you.